Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. And I have to tell you, I'm so excited about this particular video. I prepared for this video on so many different occasions, and there's so much information about Rosh Hashanah. And then yesterday, last moment, I was going over my notes and I realized, you know what, I'm going to simplify really for you guys because we have right now a few days left before Rosh Hashanah. And if you're new, by the way, if you're new to my channel, just welcome. I'm really happy you stopped in, you jump into to try my videos. My channel, it's not just about astrology, it's about higher spirituality, spirituality from Kabbalistic knowledge, spirituality from the essence of creation. And I really want you guys, for all of us to understand what's really in front of us, because right now we're living in a time, it's such an intense time. We suddenly and finally start to see who we are more and more. What does really energy represent? How our action, what kind of our action create a reaction? What really, how we impact this world? And this is why every year, Tzadikim, yesterday I was reading from Chida, Chaim Yosef David Azulai. He's saying if anyone will ask themselves, what days I choose from all entire year really to connect and to be so focused is the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Because this is the days we absolutely cannot afford to miss, and neither not to have a right consciousness, right state of mind in order for us to benefit from it. The Kabbalah is teaching us that the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah determine the course of our entire coming year, both in individuals level and on global scale. In fact, our actions and consciousness during this time actually have a power to change the world. Therefore, Rosh Hashanah is a time that impact of all humanity. I always say you don't need to be Jewish or part of the 12 Israelite tribe. You have a soul, you have a desire to understand yourself, to connect to your higher self. These all cosmic events was created for you. Yes, for you. You listen to me. There's a reason you came to my channel, and there's a reason you're following my channel right now, because you know in your essence, then there's nothing more important than come back to the essence, to real truth. And this is really what Kabbalistic knowledge is giving us. And whatever or not you are planning to attend Rosh Hashanah event, here are three areas, like three steps I want to provide us. You need to be focused to help us with our consciousness in the right direction for those the most important days of the year. So number one, it's be selfless. Yes, be selfless. My teacher, my dear teacher, Rav Burke, which is I'm gonna attach his short video by end of my video. I think you guys will have so much from it. When Kabbalist, when Tzaddik, the righteous soul, telling us something, it's really touching our souls. So he would often describe Rosh Hashanah as a spiritual war against our own selfish nature and our own egos, which are not root of the chaos we see in the world today. But we need to understand we are create our world. Becoming a true spiritual warrior during this time requires of us to give up any sense of entitlement and to really super focus instead of sharing, like a super focus, how to share with other people and what is really to be like selflessness, like really care for other, even more you care for yourself. There are countless ways we can keep our action and consciousness instead of sharing on those 48 hours. This is the great time to increase your volunteer job. If you have any organization you are thinking to volunteer, start this action now. Make a phone call. Ask if they have a place for you to come to volunteer. See who else needs your help. Maybe you have a friends who you forgot to call for a while. Maybe you have a family member. Definitely, this is another act of sharing. Instead of judging others or dwelling in our own problems, we should ask ourselves, how can I help? Look for the opportunities to share. This is number one. Number two, Be in unity. Yes, be unified. Remember, the only reason the cancer cells in our body becoming active and activate the cancer, it's only when our body don't have unity between the other cells. And what's happened here right now before the Rosh Hashanah, before we're going to arrive in such two important days, unity is one of the greatest tools against negativity. It is not, coincidence. This 48 hours of Rosh Hashanah often, ripe with family arguments, disagreements. Sometimes even, you have to fight with friends because Satan knows this is the 48 hours, which is to create the seed of the whole year to come. So think of those moments as challenges that are testing our ability to stay in unified mindset. When we remember this, we can work to avoid falling into the same trap we often do. Those 2 days are our chance to show that we are changed individually. The hard work we did, all the internal work we did, as such, universe will send us opportunities to choose love over hate, mercy over judgment, and unity over separation. And number three, be happy. Yes, be happy. It's one of the essence for our vessels to receive real messages and to let the light of creator to stay and resonate with us. It is not just how we think and behave during those 2 days that determine our year, but also how we feel, our intention inside, our thoughts, very important for these 48 hours. No matter what might be happening in our lives, we can choose happiness by connecting to the underlying perfection that exists in everything and spark of the creator that exists in every one of us. When we choose to see, the past, the mirror imperfections, and connect and stand to the inherent goodness, which is we inherited from the creator, and to see the inherent goodness in others in all circumstances with no conditions, we can experience great joy, the happiness for no reason. We say in Hebrew, simcha, simcha belev, the really true happiness from your heart, inside of your heart. So no matter what is happening externally, choose happiness internally. Your soul will thank you. It's extremely important, guys. Rosh Hashanah, this Friday night through the Saturday and Sunday, what a blessing. So we're going to have Rosh Hashanah falling on Shabbat, on such a holy day, which is cover any other holidays. It's time to impact of all humanity. It is not just the prayers and the connections we make, but who we choose to be and who we choose to behave and how to behave during these 48 hours. This is what kind of year we're going to have, the year to come. When we have our consciousness in the right place, we can transform ourselves 100%. And if enough people commit to have a positive consciousness, caring consciousness for the world, for the others, for your community, the whole entire world will change. This is how it's important. In the practical level, I just want us to remind you that this is not Rosh Hashanah. It's at the same day of the new moon, right? The new moon in the moon calendar, the new moon of Libra. So this month is so different from all other months. For one thing, none of the ritual of Rosh Hashanah takes place in this month. It is also the only month so full of holidays. This the only months have a 21 days of holidays, the months of Libra. The celebration and connections. What is the message for all of us? What is the foundation that we are building on the months of Libra? And why the sign on Libra it's so important to all of us, because you remember in our natal chart, sign of Libra represents 7th house, and 7th house is the house of relationship. And where's the 2nd house? Is the opposition of our 1st house, our ego, our selfish desires, which is we need to turn back and see. Then we have other people to care for. Of course, you need to care for yourself. In order for you to really love other people and take care of other people, you need to learn how to love yourself, take care of yourself. It's all together. But look how everything connection, how creator showing us through our astrological bodies as well, how if we know how to control them from our selflessness, from our heart, we can completely control all 12 signs inside of our chart. It is interesting that one of the holy tzaddikim, Rav Shlak, he's the author of interpretation of the Zohar, the Bali Sulam. He says it is difficult to understand the infinite with the finite mind, because he cautions us in our effort to paint pictures with our imagination of what taking place in upper worlds, and undergo we will impose limitation rather than understanding. And yet the Rav Shlak says, without the knowledge, without the study of the upper world, what's really happening in a higher dimension, we cannot understand what's happening here either. So it's all connected. We need to go to understand the higher knowledge. We need to understand where we came from in order for us to really find the peace and understand what is to be creator in this limited reality. When we really, sometimes you don't even understand how come things happening the way they are, how come I'm planning my day certain way, and I put everything in such a perfect order, and light show me completely different ways. This is how flexible we need to be, like a water. When we put water in any vessel, water take the shape of the vessel, and this is who we are. We built closer to 95% of the water. Therefore, we in our limited reality, we can see ourselves. When you stress, your body tight, you cannot be flexible. But when you relax, when you trust, you become like a god, because you trust the creation. You can take in any situation, you can see goodness, you can learn from it, and you can stay focused and balanced. You understand? This is the affinity we want to strike with the creator. If you think about it, really, how to unify it with the creator when you become like creator. And what do we think, what is really become like creator? It's something so big, it's not touchable, and it's really, we don't even have capacity inside of our limited mind in this dimension to really understand in full creation. But we can't. We definitely can. And this is the time we're entering right now, where whatever impossible becoming possible, because we're expanding our desire, we're expanding our understanding in our vessel, and to achieve level of consciousness, of mercy, of loving one another. This is absolutely the key. This is the key for us to really to create the miracle. People say, what is the miracle? What is the to become miracle creator? It's when you really apply the wisdom in such a simple way. Instead to judge somebody, you will justify this person. Instead to be upset with somebody, you will hold on, you will restrict, you will let time to show you bigger picture. And then you realize, thank God I restrict, because there was really no reason even to give all this energy and to give hand to support someone who perhaps in the time of your need didn't support you because he didn't have enough vessel. So for you, instead to pay him back the way how you were treated, you're going to do completely opposite. Do you know how much light you're going to reveal? Do you know what you're going to feel after? It's unbelievable feeling when you going through this process, and then suddenly you realize it's all about goodness, it's all about kindness. This infinite and overwhelming gift comes to us for the next 48 hours on Saturday, the whole from Friday night through Sunday evening. It's a scale for the world only requires one united bond community. We all, as a collective consciousness, like a one soul, in a single laser vision to above, all, no matter what, stand together as a one soul, one mind, one heart, and let nothing come between us, so that we can create it for ourselves and for the world and for the year to come, the peace, harmony, love, and total fulfillment. So I want us to read what Holy Zohar explaining about the blowing of shofar. It's one of the main tools we use in Rosh Hashanah. In order for us, our soul, it says that shofar has such a tremendous power, and the voice of shofar and the certain vibration, there's a special way how shofar will be blowing on Rosh Hashanah. And we usually blow shofar on both days, right? We're blowing on first day, which is the heavy judgment, and the second day, the sweet, more or less heavy judgment. And each day, the shofar needs to be blown 101 times. What is the 101? What is the numerology of 101? It's Angel Michael. So shofar as well, there's a different vibration how shofar needs to be blowing, and this particular vibration helping us to remove all the negativity, everything what we hear during the year, which is affect our consciousness, affect our mind, and therefore outcome how we behave and what's really happening in the world. So every time in 2 days of the Rosh Hashanah, when we listen to shofar, during the shofar blowing, it's recommended do not ask from place of luck, and don't think about yourself any even spark of negativity. It's really important during the blowing of shofar, in general during the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, to really only see yourself like you completely holy, you fulfill. So when I found this section in Zohar, I'm going to share with you guys, and I'm going to leave link under my under this video. You can go and finish, because I'm only going to read for you like just a few sections, but I recommend for you to complete, to finish everything. It's going to blow your mind away what tools was given to us. It's unbelievable. And when the Holy Zohar explained the power of shofar and how it came from upper world, and these tools was given to us, it's absolutely, I hope we all have enough appreciation and awe to really not just to use the tools, use from appreciation, and to understand the real power of the techniques was provided to us by Creator. So we're going to begin. I'm going to first read in English. The section calls blowing the shofar, and it starts with Rabbi Yitzchak. If you, by the way, if you're new to my channel, you don't know what is the Zohar, go under my link. There's another link. You can go and read about the book of Zohar, what energies represent, and why this book considered the most powerful book of any books was ever given to humanity. So Rabbi Yitzchak tells us that God did Israel a great kindness by drawing them to himself from Atar. When the higher and lower beings are gathering for judgment, the blowing of the shofar causes attribute of the judgment to turn to mercy. So the energy of shofar has ability to turn the judgment to mercy. The sound of shofar below causes the supernal shofar in the upper level to resound, to awaken mercy. By sounds below, which is low level where we are, Israel gives straight above. Israel is all tribes of Israel, all of us who wants to change, who attract to spirituality, who attract to tree of life reality. We hear about what happens to the holy wicked, to the holy righteous, and to the mediocres. So what it says, let's see what it says in Aramaic. בחודש השביעי, באחד לחודש, רבי יצחק פתח תקוע בחודש שופר בכסה ליום הגנו. זכאין אינון ישראל דקודשה בריחו. קריב לון לגביה, מין קל אינו אימון, עין וו ויתריה בהו, ומאתר רחיקה קריב לון. לגביה, ד' ויאמר יהושע אל כל העם, כה אמר אדוני אלוהי ישראל, בעבר הנהר ישבו אבותיכם מעולם, לאחרה דהה מאתר רחיקיה יתראה בהו, וקריב לון לגביה, וכתיב ויקח את אביכם את אברהם מעבר הנהג וגולה. הנה קראה אית להסתכלה, בהו וכין קל ישראל, להבוא ידע דה וחל שכן הישוע. In the 7 months of the first day of the months, which is we're talking about the months of Libra, the months we're starting, the months which is all 21 day of holidays, going to be during the lunar Kabbalistic calendar. Rabbi Yitzchak opened with, blow a shofar at the new moon, at the full moon on our feast day. Psalms of David 81. Happy are Israel, for a Holy One, blessed be He. Draw near rather than all the nations in the world, and choose them. From afar He drew them near. This is the meaning of, and Joshua said to all the people, thus says Hashem Elohim of Israel, your father 12 on the other side of the river in old times, Yehoshua, to indicate that he desired them from the distant place and drew them near him. It is also written, and I took you, Father Abraham, from the other side of the river. We have to examine those verses. Did not the whole Israel know this in Joshua all the more? Why they need to say, those say Hashem, the Creator? So guys, here, when you're gonna receive this link under my video, you're gonna scroll down. It's the Zohar.com, and you can complete the whole section about shofar. I strongly recommend, because we're right now in a few days before Rosh Hashanah. It's extremely important days, everything happening right now. It's always last moment. We're going to receive so many messages and so many revelations. So we need to arrive to the place of Rosh Hashanah, really prepare with all the tools. And we need to remember, we fight in a real war. The real war is the war of Gog and Magog, the war of our thoughts. And we need to understand every day, it's it's up to us if we're going to connect to Oy Vashrei, going to connect to negativity, or we're going to see the light and activate light in everything what we do. So to complete my video, I have a surprise for you. My amazing teacher, my dear teacher, who's not longer in this physical reality, but he's definitely with us. He's going to give us a perspective in short, what is the Rosh Hashanah, what Kabbalist saying about Rosh Hashanah, and how important we need to take our, how seriously we need to take our spiritual work, not necessarily ourselves, but our spiritual work. And with that, I want to conclude and wish all of us many, many blessings. Shana Tova, Arbe Brachot, Nisim V'Niflaot, miracles and wonders. I'm looking forward to reunite with you guys after Rosh Hashanah and to continue our work together and to change this world and to finish this pain and suffering and to bring the final redemption. Then everything will be open in front of us, and we're going to really care for each other, and we're going to love each other. All the best. Bye-bye.
We can now understand from another perspective what really Rosh Hashanah is about. If on this day, the idea of the fall of Adam took place, and he encompassed all of the souls, meaning you and I and the whole world, then Rosh Hashanah, which is already mentioned in the Torah, because it was not Rosh Hashanah. It was not Rosh Hashanah, the new year. It was not Rosh Hashanah, the new year, as we understand at the beginning of the world. Rather, the code in the Bible, when it says it is the 7th month, it's telling you, make no mistake. Make no mistake, we are not discussing here times. What we are discussing is 7, the number 7. And that's why it was designated the 7th month. Why was it designated the 7th month in the Torah? As we know, the whole Torah, unfortunately or fortunately, is a cosmic code. Without the Zohar, we have absolutely no way to understand the real implication, the real benefit of the tools that were given to us by virtue of the Torah. And therefore I go to the Zohar to give us clearly the idea about what Rosh Hashanah is when it says the 7th month. Because we now must bear in mind that it is no longer a happy occasion. It is no longer celebrating our birthday, because on that very day that we were born, that very day we experienced the fall of Adam. We experienced the beginning of chaos and disorder. That's what Rosh Hashanah is about. The beginning of Shana. And what does Shana mean? Year. And you should all ask yourself the question, the way I ask myself the question, who started off the 7 days of the week? Seriously, think for a moment. What would be wrong? What would be wrong if the week had 10 days? Why does it have to have 7 days? Because we know that 7 is the 7 packets of energy that this world is governed by, ruled by 7 forces of energy, the 7th of which is what we call by the code name Malhut. It's a code name. For those who don't understand, because I see many new faces here today, the code name of Malhut means desire to receive. It means man's will and desire. Man's will and desire. Neither is it a happy occasion, but rather, because of what once happened, the creation, remember we have no one to blame but ourselves because we were part of Adam, we all contributed to the beginning of chaos and disorder, all of mankind, that for the first time, we, either independently or collectively, could create again and restore order and structure in this universe. That is on Rosh Hashanah. When it says we are judged, go into courtroom, judging whether we live or we don't live, this all depends on man's activity and action. It is dependent upon him how the year will spell itself out. He will determine his own cassette. Or rather, should I say, unfortunately, he can, because more times than none, we have experienced deterioration, chaos, death, because we on Rosh Hashanah, have not collectively created enough order in this universe, because we have lost the idea of what Rosh Hashanah is. Well, what was Rosh Hashanah? I thought it was a new year. We start the calendar that year. Wrong, said the Torah immediately. You're talking about calendars in the sense like the Gregorian calendar? The first month is Nisan. But this represents the fall of Adam. This represents the beginning of the chaos and disorder. Why can't we correct it in another day? Says the Zohar, when God planned the creation, it was created in Tishrei, the month of Libra. Why the month of Libra? Why the month of Libra? Scales. Okay, scales, judgment. But in that day, which is the contributing factor of called the shofar, on that day you have two scales. And you have the central column that maintains balance. The shofar is that central column, the mediator between left and right, good and evil. It's the mediator. It creates a balance. To support this balance, we are little people in the whole quantum of this universe. How can we, and I must maintain a balance for me everywhere in the world, for me. Because if I haven't touched base on everything that can affect me, I haven't created order in my own personal life. God, in his infinite wisdom, knew the possibility that man could fall, he already created the safeguard. The safeguard called a shofar, called a Rosh Hashanah in advance. Our Rosh Hashanah, there is only one purpose, is to restore the chaotic condition that you and I created back in the time of Adam. In the time of Adam. We need people. We need people. And we do this every year, and I want you to know we are seeing the fruits of that labor. You can have all of these people concentrating, and everyone, and those who don't even know what to do are instructed. Those who attend Rosh Hashanah services. What service? Talking about a war here. A war that depends on us to restore. As it is, we have created the chaotic condition. That already has been cassette from the day one. From the day one, which is called Rosh Hashanah. The day Adam was born. He had this opportunity to maintain the law and order or to create a chaotic condition, which he did. Now, each and every single year, we have no one to blame but ourselves for the chaotic condition that we may experience throughout the whole year. No one to blame. Why? Because we are given the opportunity every Rosh Hashanah to blow that shofar. So I encourage everyone, our life depends on these 2 days. The life of a whole year depends on these 2 days. Therefore, we wish everyone Shana Tova, that the chaos and order that is subscribed and prescribed on this day for us shall be different. But it can only be different if we will it so and we make it so. And a good year to everyone. Shana Tova.